I want to propose this question: is the thin blue flag, thin blue line flag, a good idea or a bad idea? And if you're not aware of what this flag is, actually, the thin blue line is representing the police of the United States. Now, whether you support the police or not, or what you think of the police, whether it's positive or negative or a mixed bag, I think a lot of people think a mixed bag, actually. Whether it goes more positive or negative depends on the person, but I don't think anybody thinks the police are 100% bad or 100% good, but sometimes some few people do. But that's not the question I'm proposing here. I don't tell you, should the American flag be not modified like this? And that's the question I'm proposing. I'm going to say no. But, I'm not against people flying this flag. I don't think even if they fly it in place of the American flag, I'm not against them doing that. That's fine. If they want to do that, fine. A free country, that's the way I look at it. But I'm going to actually tell you a couple different angles on things that I don't really think this is a good idea. Now, if you're going to fly a flag that represents the police, like say this is California, say you got the California Republic with the bear and the sheriff, right? So maybe this could be the sheriff's flag, and you want to fly that in support of your local sheriff in your county, fine. It's not taking the American flag and modifying it. That's my whole point. That's why I really don't like the flag like that when they take the American flag and then modify it. Now, it's fine for novelty, and I guess it's fine for, I guess, to be flown in conjunction with American flag, but, but still, I'm all for, like, free speech because I know they got all kinds of modifications of American flags and do what the hell you want, but I really, I think well-intentioned people are, adopting that flag, and, I don't think it's a good thing to do. But like I said, freedom of choice. But if you want to support your local police or sheriff, you can join your sheriff's association, like I did. Fine, you could do that, and you could display the license plate. But like I said, I am not being like a rule freak over here. Hey, I'm not a cop, you know what I mean? And all the cops aren't rule freaks either, but you know what I mean. I'm not being a rule freak. But I really don't. I think a lot of people that are well-intentioned that are flying the black and white flag with the blue stripe on it, that's a modification of the American flag. And I really don't think that's the best thing to do because it can go into different areas too. And actually, a lot of people don't realize if you look at the 18 most dangerous jobs in the United States, the police is number 18, right? There's other jobs that you would not expect that are more dangerous than being in a police. Now, of course, I know they dramatize on TV a lot of different things that are going on, but police, when they get any kind of situation, even if they remotely think they're in danger, they call for all kinds of backup, man. And they got overwhelming force. So I mean, it's not like, it's dangerous, but it's not as dangerous as a lot of professions you wouldn't expect. And I'm showing one of them here, the bartender. The bartender's job, occupation, is rated more dangerous than the police. Believe it or not. Because he's dealing with drunks in unexpected situations. I don't know, a guy can have a knife, or maybe he could be a martial arts artist, and he gets mad and blah, 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 and whatever. Now, I know the bartender is not protecting people's lives, and I guess maybe he is psychologically because he talks to people about their problems. I don't know. I don't go to bars, but, I think a lot of bartenders are like counselors. Instead of giving out meds, whatever, they give out booze and they talk to their clients, whatever. That's what the hell they are. Mediators too. Who the hell knows? But actually, this job is rated more dangerous than a police officer. So, would you have a bartender flag? Does a bartender protect society? I don't know. Maybe in a loose way. Maybe. Then the other side of it is like, the police work for the government, right? You need the police, but really the citizen needs to protect themselves, their own property, and their own livelihood. They're the real number one line of defense. So, now, another profession you would not expect that it's actually rated, and it's not me doing the rating. I don't have the link with me right now, but that's rated more dangerous than being a police officer is a garbage man. Now, garbage man actually is a necessary, in actually some ways, maybe the police are like garbage men because they don't really see the crime in action. They see the mess of the crime after it happened, right? I'm being honest. That's not being anti-police or anything, but that's the reality of the situation. They see the mess of the crime after it happened. Whether it was a break-in or homicide or whatever, mugging or whatever. I don't know, whatever the hell it was, right? Um, Garbage man is actually rated more dangerous than a police officer. Now, I think it's partly because not just the equipment they're working with, that trash compactor and stuff to ride on the back, but also they're dealing with hazardous waste. They don't know what the hell somebody's throwing away that can affect their health and all that kind of stuff. Now, one profession I do respect a lot more than the police, believe it or not, is a farmer. And this profession is the number one profession I respect more than any profession out there. The farmer. The farmer has got to know everything. The farmer's got to know not just about growing food, he's got to know about not just irrigation and the equipment he has. He's got to know how to weld. He has to know how to do framing, electrical, put up fencing. He has to be a jack of every trade there is. And what is he doing? He's giving life. He's feeding us. But there's no specific farmer's flag, right? And his job is more dangerous than the police. Now, me in saying that I respect the farmer's occupation more than the police, I respect the farmer's occupation more than any occupation on the planet. And it's amazing that they don't, people today, oh, farmer, like they don't even look at it like a farmer's doing them any good. And I'm like, what do you think's feeding you, pal? Or woman or whatever it is. You're going to the store and you're look what's going on. Now, the police, obviously, if they weren't around, there would be a lot more crime. There's no doubt about it. I mean, you don't know, like, you hear bad stories and they're emphasized a lot on the internet and the news, but if the police weren't around, there'd be a lot more crime. But, on the other side of it is, they work for the government. If the laws are screwed up, the police are screwed up by default because they don't they're part of the justice system, but like to give you an extreme example, I know this isn't in the United States, but it is in some countries. Like if you got, boy, I know YouTube's gonna love this because they're freaking so politically sensitive, but I got to give you an example. Like some of the more extreme countries would have like real extreme Sharia law. If a woman's raped by two males violently and she reports to the police, she could be charged with adultery because there wasn't four witnesses. Because that's the law. That's giving an extreme example. That's not a law in the United States, but there are laws in the United States that are screwed up and, whatever. I mean, like for instance, I don't smoke any weed or anything like that, but I think the marijuana laws now, they're finally changing. But for umpteen years, there were like extreme penalties on it and the cops were enforcing it, right? So they work for the government, that's another thing. The farmer doesn't really work for the government unless he's in the old Soviet Socialist Republic, with the USSR, right? Um, but it's like that's a profession, and that's it's a mixed bag with the police because they work for the government. It's kind of like I don't know, but if you're going to fly a flag, then you start thinking, well, should I fly a farmer's flag? Well, farmers do fly flags. They fly flags, but they fly the American flag on the side of the barn, and that's kind of like my point. I don't want to say like if you put up a black and white flag with a blue stripe, fine. If you don't put up an American flag and you only put up a black white flag with a blue stripe, that's fine too. But in my opinion, in my humble opinion, I really don't like modifying the American flag like that because it's like you got this kind of flag, that kind of flag, and you know what I mean. And then it becomes like, what the hell's the American flag? It's nothing, right? It's just another one of many, right? you know. So it's like the farmers didn't take the American flag and just put a green stripe through it, right? We're the green guys. We make everything green. We grow foods. I don't know what the bartenders would put. They put a bunch of bottles. Well, I don't really rate the bartenders and the garbage men. I know they are rated as more dangerous jobs than police, but I got more respect for the police, but I mean, it's not like I don't have respect for bartenders and garbage men or nothing like that, but I got more respect for police. But I got more respect for farmers than I do police. I got more respect for farmers than anybody. I don't care who the hell they are, even if they think they're the greatest god of Wall Street and all this other stuff, or Mr. Tycoon that owns everything in the United States. I respect the farmer far more than anybody. But they fly the American flag. They didn't take the American flag and put a green stripe through it. And I don't know if the cops designed this black and white flag with the blue stripe. I don't even know where the hell it came from. But I'm not I'm not that keen on it. But do your own thing. But like I said, you got other ways you can do things. And sheriff's association. You can have the bumper sticker. You can have the license plate, the stickers on your windows, whatever. The Florida Sheriff's Association, or maybe like a sheriff's flag, which obviously, green and yellow with typical sheriff's colors with the star, and this would be like the Republic of California with the bear. Maybe you put the name of what county it is, whatever, Orange County, California. I don't know, whatever it be, and that would make more sense to me because it's not. I don't really care if you fly this flag or not. I mean, it's not offensive or nothing to me or nothing. I'm not saying that, and I'm not saying you're committing a crime by modifying the American flag. But I'm not saying some crazy thing like that. But I just don't. I just don't like taking the American flag and modifying it like this, like for that reason. Unless maybe you're doing it for a novelty or something. But it's kind of gotten, with things have been going on in news lately. A lot of people are flying this flag in support of the police, but it's like fine. I mean, but it's not. I just don't like modifying the flag like that. To tell you the truth, that's really my point. I'm not saying I'm anti-police or pro-police. I realize with the police, it is kind of a mixed bag. I mean, not everybody in the police force is good. It's human. Um, and there's different things. I know in YouTube they exaggerate one way or the other, but yeah, I also know you never talk to a cop because no matter what the hell it is, you don't know who the hell you're dealing with. Because they could take one word and freaking make a sentence out of it or something. That's what they do sometimes. It depends on who it is. You don't know what the hell you don't know who you're dealing with. They got absolute power, but and that's another thing too, because basically they are an arm in the government, which is force. That's force. And I don't think this nation was really well. You need them. You need them because without them, because not everybody can protect themselves. Not everybody's got the means to, and they do reduce crime a lot. The cops do reduce crime a lot. But I think there's other ways you can support the police, and if you fly a flag, maybe something like this, or you join your sheriff's association like I did. Fine, I got that all in my cars and stuff. Pay them some money, right? And that helps them do their different things. And like I said, I mean, the one profession I respect the most is the farmer, and I don't want to see a green and white flag with a big dark green stripe going through it because it's the farmer's flag. Unless you got, I don't know, a green flag with a bunch of wheat and oats and stuff printed on it or something that says American farmers, and it doesn't look like an American flag. But if you look at what American farmers fly, they don't fly like some green flag with stripes, green stripes, and a big dark green stripe through it. They fly the American flag. So I don't know. So I kind of beat the issue to death here a little bit, but you see my point. And like I said, you fly the black and white flag with the blue stripe, fine. I'm not going to get one though because it's like, I joined the sheriff's association, fine. I'm not going to get a black and white flag with a blue stripe on it. I just don't like that changing an American flag like that. Maybe it's cool for a novelty, but I just wouldn't fly something like that because this is America. This isn't the police land. This is America, right? Police have a function, but like everybody else got a function, just like the farmers got a function, and they don't fly a green and white flag with a dark green stripe on it either. So that's kind of how I look at it. I don't even know if the police even designed this flag, or I doubt they did. Some commercial operation did, and they're selling them left and right. But you know, it's kind of missing. And my point is not being anti-police, pro-police, or anything. It's just like, why modify the flag like that and then display that instead of the American flag? I don't quite like that. So, anyway, over and out. That's my point. What do you think about it? Because uh, it gets a little out of hand. I personally like. I'll tell you, to sum it up, what I like flying for flag, and it's not illegal or offensive. It shouldn't be. I don't know. Is the state flag, your state flag, because I think this country needs to go back to more states' rights. You know, all the rights and powers that are enumerated in the Constitution for the federal government that are not enumerated in the Constitution for the federal government are reserved strictly for the states. And you know how that's being ignored. Ain't nothing wrong with flying your state flag, and I can tell you that's something I think a lot more people should do. So, anyway, over now.